In a world of uncertainty and turmoil, one man stands alone, along with his faithful sidekick. A man who entertains and educates the masses weekly, 70% of the time. Born out of the dusty plains of Washington State, now from the coastal forests of Oregon. The man, the myth, the man, G23.
Welcome, everyone. This is Saturday Evening Chats, episode 77. We have the co-host extraordinaire, Mr. DM Foss, who created that lovely intro.
Well, good afternoon.
So I see we have John Z out in the crowd. He's probably listening, eating. And we have Mr. Single Shot out there. So welcome, everyone. So I know they're doing the GRPC right now, and they started that about 10 o'clock this morning, going through and talking to different 2A advocates. And I know there was at least two of them that I've interviewed, which was Derek Lebec from Kids Safe and Chris Chang, who were both speakers. So that was pretty cool seeing them. We got Mr. DJ Play Nice out there trying to get everyone to go over to the GRPC.
Oh, you should ban him.
I could just take his wrench.
Cast him out.
I know.
He's
G-Webs
taken
is
off.
G-Webs is simulcasting, so I don't want to step on his toes.
Yeah.
So Single Shot says, "How are you guys doing today?" He's doing good. He's in Prescott, Arizona.
Well, he's on our side of the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, not too far from Mr. G-Webs himself. So I'm doing pretty good. So I've been doing a lot of thinking.
Oh, he said Arkansas.
Oh, sorry. I see Prescott and then an A and automatically went to Arizona. So, my bad. I know my channel's pretty hard to find. And so I've been really thinking about maybe rebranding, trying to be a little more like inclusive, or however you want to call it, so that if I want to keep working, doing like reviews and stuff, it's going to be a little harder to get some of those companies to want to work with you. When their first thoughts is that you're brand loyal, even if you're not, I do carry a Glock 23 40 cal. But I also have a SIG. Well, that's the wife's. And I have other firearms that. So. Yeah, I was thinking just adding reviews, but it's still, you may not get some of those other companies to want to work with you. Just because they'll equate that. It's kind of like the reason why Budget Guns and Gear just rebranded. You know, the word budget in a name. There's companies out there that say, you know what, our product isn't a budget product. Well, they don't think about the fact that every single person has a different equation of what budget means. Like, I may say, okay, my budget for a new car is I'm not going to spend anything over, $40,000. Foss may say, guess what? I'm not going to spend anything over $140,000. So budgets can be a whole different game, you know. So I see we've got Mr. Misha N out in the crowd. Welcome. Mr. F and H, Gun Loving Grandpa. I know. You got any thoughts on this, Foss?
It's really up to you. Probably wouldn't hurt. I think your concerns are valid concerns. It's might be tough to come up with something, but I don't know. It's all what you want.
Yeah. And what's got me really thinking about it is, like Clover. I was talking with Clover. He said it on, I think it was on a Ghost chat when he was setting up his new GunTuber Academy, and he was going to link to my channel. He's like, you don't know how hard it is to find your channel. I'm like, yeah, I've heard that before. And so, if it's for somebody who is as savvy as Clover Tack, and he's saying it's hard to find, if I'm trying to reach other people and trying to get the 2A message out there, the harder the channel is to find, the less likely the message is going to get out there.
Yeah.
So
I know the first couple times I looked for your channel, it was, you were way down, a couple pages down to find you.
Yeah, and that's definitely not, most people aren't going to go searching for that. So I see we have Tim S out in the crowd. He comes over from a lot of the reloading channels and chats that I've been hanging out in, and I was on Georgia Shooting Connection last night talking with them, and it was pretty cool. I have been kind of thinking a lot about reloading, and it's mainly for the 45 Colt, because it's so hard to find that round. So hard to find that round. Misha says the only real worry in life is what's for dinner. So we got Michael Hurtneck out there. Yeah, and so if you guys weren't watching Georgia Shooting Connection last night, I was blessed with a Rock Chucker Junior 3.
Wow.
which will be being sent over from those guys. So I am definitely happy about that. And Tim S. and a bunch of the guys over there are saying we'll definitely send you some brass. I don't
That's
remember if I
awesome.
sent. Yeah, so definitely gonna be and getting some 40 projectiles sent. Make sure I sent a link to Jason Stewart. Now that I'm thinking about it. I did not send one to.
Yeah, so shouldn't it be guaranteed for life? Smile Direct Club has this really clever name for it. Lifetime Smile Guarantee. And their doctors straighten your teeth for 60% less than Invisalign.
Just shot him a link real quick.
60% less. Lifetime
I
Smile.
know.
Get a smile you love for life. Your life. Choose Smile. Choose Direct.
Misha says I'm going to become a reloading hobbit here pretty soon. And John Z says he wanted a rock chucker till he found out it doesn't chuck rocks. So yeah, that's going to be a new rabbit hole to indulge in. I know Single Shot, he does a lot of reloading. He's got a great channel out there.
Yeah, Single Shot has a lot of knowledge in his head.
A lot of those guys definitely have a lot of damn knowledge. Michael Herkneck has a lot of knowledge about reloading. So he says, need to know what primers and brass did you need? I was told last night I can't ship primers, but I can ship primer brass. 40 Smith & Wesson or 45 Colt. Those are the two rounds I'm probably going to be sticking with mainly. So the Dillon will be added in a future date. Right now, I think my main priority is buying a house. K24, you guys want reloading videos and stuff? He does great reloading and other videos out there. Actually, I am going to. If any of you guys want to come on and talk some reloading, I threw the link out there. We can have you come on. I'm not sure where Rob D is, but now we're talking reloading. He's like, nope, not going to show up.
That's what I was just thinking.
I know. Misha says The Rock is welcome, Single Shot.
Howdy, howdy.
Glad to have you jump on. This is the first time I've had you on here. Been on a Gizzard stream with you on a Sunday morning, but
Yep.
never had you as a guest here. So,
Well, thanks for the invite. I appreciate it.
yeah, you are so welcome. So, I know you've got many a year's experience in the reloading. Um, what would be some of your advices to people getting into it, or not with a whole lot of experience?
Well, first and foremost, you've got to go by your reloading manuals. That is very, very important. And stick with those recipes that they give you in there. I understand that you have an interest in 45 ACP, 45 long Colt, which I've loaded quite a bit. I've been loading since 1970, so I've
10
got
years before I was born.
I got a day or two there, and I've been casting bullets since 1983, so I've got some experience in that as well. But take it slow. Start off with a single stage, um, and follow the instructions. There's also several companies like RCBS, Sierra, and Hornady that will put out DVDs on reloading. Someone just starting out. Those preambles, the preamble section on the front of your reloading manuals. Excuse me. That can be very helpful as well because it has a lot of information on there on how to reload, how to go about the process. Explains what each step is done for. Gives you some information on your powders selection, primer selection, bullet selection. So there's a lot of good information there for you. And I would check with Starline Brass for your 45 long Colt brass. Because, you have to keep checking with them. Of course, that stuff is coming back in, but it's coming back in slow. And there's 2 or 3 different outlets that you can check for your supplies. Keep checking because they're in again and gone again, back and forth. Midway, Mid-South, Shooters, Starline Brass. Oh, Natchez Shooters Supply. That's another one. So, you got some options to keep checking on there.
Yeah. And is there specific reloading manuals that you would say you lean to more than others? Because, I mean, reloading manuals, there's like 20 of them.
Well, knowledge is power. And if you're going to be using a cast bullet, Lyman cast bullet reloading manual is a very good place to start for that. And a lot of your jacketed bullet companies, Hornady, Sierra, the Spear, those 3 there, they block it only to their products, their bullets only. They don't have Hornady bullets in the Spear loading manual or Sierra in a Hornady, that kind of stuff. Those books are specified for their product. So go to your Lyman. Lyman makes a really good reloading manual for multiple products. It covers multiple products. The Richard E. Lee book, second version, that also covers multiple products. So it's a good place to start right there with those 2 manuals.
Yeah, I knew I was gonna grab a Lyman because everybody talks about, you've got to have a Lyman book, and
Oh, yeah.
so I knew that was definitely going to be one that I was going to be adding to.
Last one, number 50. And I've gotten quite a few of them. I lost a lot of them in the fire down in Georgia near about 9 years ago now. And I'm slowly rebuilding back. Sierra is another one. When they put out their book, it's for their bullets only. They don't list anybody else's bullets in those loads. But like I say, a lot of the reading that you can do is in the front portions of those manuals. It gives you a lot of information. Some of it's repetitious between the companies, but there's also little tidbits of information there that you could pick up that somebody else wouldn't have mentioned before.
I know Gun Loving Grandpa was saying he's got to get with you and pick your brain on, I think, 6.5 Creed was what he was saying in the chat.
Yeah, I just got 6.5 Creed, as a matter of fact. And I load a lot of calibers. Years ago, I had up to 63 calibers that I was reloading. And at present, I'm going to say it's pretty close to 40 calibers right now that I'm loading. And I just added another one today. And that was a 708. So, mine is, it's growing all the time. But anytime you guys, any of you, want to call me for a question or whatever the case may be on my channel, if you go up in the top scroll bar there and slide that to the right, it says About. In that section, you click on About, and it brings up name, address, phone number, everything's right there. And I'm welcome to, you're welcome to jump in there and holler at me anytime.
We'll definitely make sure I get that.
Yeah,
If Mr. FNH says he has a Hornady reloading book, that's about it. What all reloading books should I invest in? RCBS and others? Things I still ain't started, but got the shit.
It takes time. It takes time.
That's about where I'm at.
Yeah, it takes time to learn it. It's a science. It's not just a hobby. And you've got two levels of reloading. You got the beginner's level, which is reloading. A lot of guys just do it for thinking. But when you step up further to hand loading, that's when you get into the real down razor's edge nitty gritty part of it, because you're actually furthering your education past that point of just reloading and going for a precision reload to match the weapon that you're shooting. And it takes a little time to get that.
Yeah. One thing I would probably throw in is when you're first starting out, definitely check a couple different of the books for your powder loads, because
Absolutely.
some of them will load hotter than others.
Yep. Hornady is very generous as a rule. They err on precaution, which I don't blame them. You know, but your other reloading manuals, for, like say for a 6.5 with 140 grain Hornady, a Hornady manual might load, we'll just say 5 different recipes for it, 5 different powders. But if you go to a Lyman book and go to that same section under 140 grain jacketed, it's going to list some different stuff. There, I would err on the side of caution and work up slowly. Always work 10% below the maximum charge weight when you're first starting out. If you start seeing pressure signs right there, stop immediately. When I load up a test load, I'll load it at 5 rounds. That's it. That's all I load. Even though I'll have brass ready to go for the rest of it. If I'm matching that to one of my weapons, I'll load 5 each time, and I'll test them. A lot of the same procedures that Johnny's reloading bench uses, and the way he does it, he'll load up 25 or 10 rounds, whatever. I load up 5, and if they work well, I don't see any pressure, I'm getting good accuracy, then I'll bump it up a little bit at a time and keep going up the chain until I've got that group that I'm looking for. And most of my shooting is at 100 yards. So, I stay pretty much to that distance. I've got a range out back of the house that's 110 yards. So, I've got that option to me right there. So if I got to test the load, I just step out back.
That's where I would like to get one of these days. So, Mr. Wow, Mr. FNH says, "What if you only have one powder type?" So
you can work with it.
Oh yeah,
No problem.
because
Sure.
I mean, like a lot of your handgun, your pistol, you're probably going to use like a tight group, or something like that. And so just because you're only using tight group, if you're loading for a 9mm, it's going to be one type. But then again, it all depends on, are you running like a spear gold dot projectile, or are you running any of your other projectiles? Your projectiles and your grain weight. If you're running a 125 or 127 grain 9mm, you may load it at one level, but if you're running a 147, you might load it at a little different.
Yep.
So your grain weight, your bullet brand, then if you get into your casting your own bullets, that's a whole different ball game, because then you're definitely going to have to start playing with what your powder recipe is. Then that hole can lead you down even further to gas checking your projectiles, and what kind of powder coating are you using. Definitely, Mr. FNH, there's a few different reloading channels, I would say. Echo has a great reloading channel. AR Guns, 1776, Georgia Shooting Connection. Those guys all have great channels that will help all about. Walter Benning.
Mm-hmm.
You've got
Johnny's reloading bench. That's a big one.
Elfsters. You've got Uncle John, who goes on every Saturday night. You've got K24, who does a lot of reloading videos, and he hasn't been doing so many of the live streams lately. CW Longshot, he's a great guy he'll put out casting videos and reloading videos, and he puts a lot of information into those videos. And there's times where I watch that same video 2 or 3 times so I can try to pack that information in.
Yeah, he's great with the powder coating genre as well, because you do have different requirements. Each type of bullet's going to take a different powder, different weight of powder. So, he's a good fellow. I've met him, and he's one of the best. He's a good fellow to get info from. and he does a lot of good videos.
Yeah. HIPAA is out. Says jumped on powder myself. Prices hit normal for me, thankfully. So yeah, I know. Oh, another guy is Willie Bullet Man.
Yes, yeah,
Um,
Willie's good.
and
He's also a good friend.
he will bend over backwards to help answer any question you have.
Sure will.
So will Jamie JH586, Kyle Lusk, any of those guys. A lot of the guys in the reloading community, you know, being a new person to reloading, you're not gonna ask a stupid question. They'll even take the time to break down why they're giving the answer they're giving. You know, so there's times where I've asked a question thinking, you know, this has got to be a stupid question. These guys all know the answer, you know, but they'll take the time to show why you get asked check certain rounds, and you know how the gas check is to properly be seated on the round. Oh crap! Did I not send RTAC?
Sorry, Artak, you've been replaced by Single Shot.
Your gas bullets, gas checks on the bullets. Use that if you're going to be driving those cast bullets hard. And what that does is that prevents the bottom of that bullet melting from the heat of the powder. Just a standard pistol load, something that's not running on the high end of velocity, it's fine as long as your alloy is good.
Yeah, and you want to kind of touch on gas checking for some people that don't really know exactly what gas checking is.
Sure. Gas checks are made either from copper or aluminum. Some guys have made them out of soda pop cans. They're quite thin, but they'll achieve the same process that you're looking for. And you have a Lyman lubricizer, Lyman 450 or an RCBS lubricizer, and you set that gas check into the machine first. Your bullet has to be made for a gas check. In other words, the very base of that bullet has to be just a little bit smaller than the driving bands of that bullet. I mean, I've heard of people using them on regular bullets, but I'm just picky that way. If I'm going to use gas checks, I'm going to use them on a gas check cast bullet, and put that in that machine, and then just set the bullet down on top of it squarely. Some people just push them onto the base of the bullet first, and run that down into the sizer, and sizes it, crimps that gas check on the base of the bullet, and sizes and lubes the bullet as well. So it's all in one kind of sweep motion when you do that.
Now, would you gas check a 300 blackout?
No, not really. I've got a 30 caliber gas check bullet that I'm casting, and I can use them in the 300, but I'm going to be trying them into a couple of other calibers, 308, the 30 Harriet, and maybe even try a few of them in the 30-06. I can do that, but I have to gas check them because on that 30-06 and that 308, they're going to run a pretty good velocity. So you want to protect the bottom of that bullet with a gas check.
So now with the gas checking, that's mainly for your rounds that are going to be probably what 2,600 psi, or the
No.
26 to 3,000 feet per second.
Yeah, maybe even a little bit lower than that. 2,200 up, and that's pretty much for any caliber. Is to judge that. Like I said before, it's all up to your alloy. If you've got a good solid alloy, sometimes you don't even have to gas check it. And the way you check that, if you're checking your alloy, is you fire a few of the bullets, clean it, running the brushes through it, running a de-leading kit through it. I'm talking handgun. And check to see if you've got any leading on that cleaning patch. If you've got any leading on that cleaning patch, then more than likely you're a little bit too soft.
Now, do you check your the BHN?
Yes, I do. And I've got a pretty good little rig that I use. It's from Lee. It's easy to use. And Reloaders Network, that's another source for you. He sells a pretty good little rig there to hold a flashlight and a magnifier, two different little stands, and you cast like a wafer, just cast a bullet and file a flat spot on that bullet. Follow the instructions on the Lee hardness tester that they sell. You can get the Seiko, but you're going to pay a heck of a lot more money for it. And what you're doing is you're measuring a dimple in that lead that kit makes, and you operate it off your single stage press, and it tells you by the diameter of that dimple how hard that stuff is. It's fairly accurate. It's fairly close, and it comes with a chart in the kit that you can refer to and figure out your BHN. BHN is very important on cast bullets, because you've got to get that hardness right if you're going to be pushing them at any velocity.
Yeah, if you had too soft of a cast bullet, you could end up melting it in your barrel.
That's right. And you'll notice it when you clean the barrel, because you'll see those threads of lead coming out of there. And you say to yourself, yeah, I got them just a bit too soft. And a lot of folks will use old wheel weights. If you get old wheel weights, clean them up, recast them into lead ingots, clean them up real good, cast them into ingots, and then when you get ready to use them, they'll be all ready to use. You just have to flux them again to make sure you get all the crud out of them. You don't want any fine debris in there to plug up your nozzle. If you use a nozzle type pot, that is. Some of the folks will use the old dipper style, dip it out of smelting pot as they call it. And you have to keep that relatively clean to get all of the foreign materials out of it.
Welcome, Artak. How's everything going?
Pretty much okay. Did some videos today. Got to upload them and post them for the upcoming weeks. And Victoria's going to her first prom.
Ooh.
Hopefully, Daddy got the shotgun ready.
Always keep a G2C in the truck. So.
Well, hopefully she has fun at her first prom.
I think she will. I don't see why I've always had fun there.
Yeah, but you also know that, kids that age.
Oh, yeah. I gotta remember she's 14. She ain't 16 yet. This would be a freshman prom, I guess.
Things still happen at freshman prom.
Yeah, I know. With her helping me take care of my grandson, she's already said she don't want kids. So this is how. Well, you know how they're made. So okay, just remember that.
Yep, definitely. Well, there's, I guess we won't get into that topic.
Yeah. That's another topic for another day about the birds and the bees.
So
I gotta go drop her off at. It's 7 to 10. I don't know why they start so late, but
tonight?
Yeah.
Crap.
Yeah. Already.
That's
Homecoming. It's homecoming dance, I guess.
That's like 15 minutes from now.
Yeah, I know. It only takes me about 10 minutes to get to school.
So she already got her dress and everything,
Yeah.
Got her hair done.
She didn't do it. She don't do her hair. She's tomboy, but she got her dress. She used to wear dresses all the time when she was a girl, or when she was younger.
I was say, is she not a girl anymore?
She's always been a girl. I mean, when she was little, and then she just got out of them for some reason, and then sister always accused me of trying to turn her into a tomboy, and I'm like, no, I'm not. But her mother was somewhat the same way. She didn't like. She wasn't a flowers or jewelry type person. I used to buy jewelry. Then I just stopped because she never wore it. So.
Yeah, my wife's not a one that's. Oh, I'm gonna get a dress and wear all that jewelry, and she's like, nah, I'd rather have jeans and a.
That's part of the dress.
So.
You want to say something?
Hi.
Have fun at your dance tonight, Tori.
Thank you.
What the fuck is that?
It's alive.
There's a lot of chat going.
Okay, there we go.
You want to say hi,
Have fun.
Jessica?
Thank you. You poked my eye with a dang brush.
Did it hurt?
No,
I didn't feel a damn thing.
I didn't either.
You liar.
Ow. Yeah, woman. This is yours. I stole this from you.
Get all that hair.
I ain't touching. Jessica, your son is asleep on my bed.
No, we're leaving.
Oh my
And I gotta grab my ticket out of my bag.
Well, hurry up, Slowpoke. You'll be late to your damn homecoming dance.
Oh my god. Okay, be quiet about Jake.
Oh yeah, she's going with some boy named Jaden. I was like, you couldn't pick somebody with a bitcher name than that, really?
Oh.
It's so funny though. So I got to meet him.
Uh-oh. Where's Rob D when we need him?
I know. I was thinking that's all night for Rob to be absent. Is tonight.
Right?
Hey,
The night.
G said we got to cancel homecoming because Rob's not on here to give you a hard time.
Too bad. I didn't pay $5 for no reason.
Oh, $5. Ooh. You mean you didn't spend my $5? It was my money, fool.
I used the one from Brother Ed.
Oh.
Oh. So, Single Shot, you might be able to answer this question from Mr. F&H a lot better than I would be able to. He says, what's a good powder to use for a 44 mag loads? I just have CFE pistol and rifle currently. I need a good Magnum powder and dies. I just paid $129 for 1,000 large pistol primers from Natchez.
IMR 4227. What's he using for a bullet?
He did not say that. Yeah, HIPAA says use W296 or IMR 4227.
H110, IMR 4227. That's my go-to with my 240 grain cast Keith type cement wad cutter cast bullets.
This one.
Accurate number 9 is another good one. That's about all the go-tos that I have that I use, and I use a standard pistol primer, large pistol primer for the loads. I've shot 6 deer with that load, so I've had good luck with it.
So you're gonna have to postpone for 45 minutes.
Who?
You.
Why?
Rob D says, on my way home from an emergency call. Should be with you in about 45 minutes.
Oh.
I'm not waiting that long.
Oh. Come on, Tori. You know we can give your new person the same treatment that we gave the last stalker.
See, with Hayden, I don't care, but with Jaden, that's different.
He's in ROTC with him.
Yeah, we have almost all the same powder.
I mean, the names are so close.
Jay, yeah. There's no imagination in naming your kids no more.
Yeah, there's band competitions at Bradley High. And Cleveland Middle, or not Cleveland, Jesus. Cleveland High is participating in that one once they get back to Atlanta.
So, yeah, we actually live like a block and a half, or well, about 5 blocks away from the county high school. And we live on the south side in the high school, the city high school that she goes to is in the middle of the city. So
I should have gone Bradley.
Yeah, that's a pain in the ass to do the paperwork. You know what? Even though we live in the county, if I wanted to send her there, I got to go and request it. Plus, I'm a homeowner, so I pay county taxes. So I shouldn't have to request any damn thing. If I wanted to go there, since I pay county taxes, I could take it. Or she should be able to go without me having to jump through any hoops. But, you know.
Yeah, so Single Shot, he says probably a 240 grain soft point if I can find it.
Yeah, that's going to be tough to find. Probably the only thing he'll be able to run across is 240 grain hollow point, which is not bad. I've used them. Yeah, same powder. I just go with a little bit less, like grain or so back and two between jacketed and cast. Watch your pressure. Yeah, Michael, that's one I haven't tried, the 44 mag tight group. That works very well in 9mm 38 special, 45 ACP.
Yeah, I know. I think that's what one of my coworkers uses in his 10mm load. Is tight group.
Yeah, it's pretty much basically a target load. a target type powder, but it works well. A lot of your shotgun powders, your blue dot, your green dot, red dot. Blue dot is your another one for 44 Magnum. That's made by Alliant. Green dot, red dot is unique. Is good for standard pistol loads.
Yeah, Michael's asking if he said he had CFE. Yeah, I think he did say he had CFE. Yep, he says he has CFE pistol and rifle. So
I've not tried those yet.
yeah, I know I'll probably be looking for like either tight group or like power pistol.
Yep, that's another one. I haven't tried it yet, but that's another one that's that I've heard a lot about is the power pistol. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think at the beginning I'm just gonna stick with a lot of the powders that listening to the reloaders that I listen to, you know, a lot of them are saying, you know, hey, these are some pretty good powders to start off with. So either tight group, power pistol, or the red dot, green dot, unique.
I have a question for single shot since he's reloading. I hadn't got into it yet. I got a Taurus Ultralight 444 44 Magnum revolver, and the thing weighs like 26 ounces. So recoil is definitely a issue with it. What would you recommend to download 44 Magnum or just load 44 Special?
Funny you should say that.
Download it.
Go to my channel, and I've done a video on that has had quite a lot of views and remarks. And it is a very snappy revolver, and there's no doubt about that. And I've got 3 other 44 Magnums. That one there is going to get dedicated for 44 Special. Thing has got just a little bit too much recoil to maintain any accuracy with that beast. She's pretty hot.
Yeah, it's well, I did a video on shooting it, and I shot the very first one I did in the rain. I shot 6 rounds and I was done. I was like,
Too much recoil.
way too much recoil. And then I bought like 60 rounds of 44 Special that I found. I hadn't gone back and shot it yet with the 44 Special to see how it is. I mean, is there a noticeable difference between the 44 Special and the 44? Because I've never played with them. I've always had 38s and 357s.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of difference. 44 Magnum, 44 Special, 357 Magnum, 38 Special. And recently what I run across with my 41 Magnum is there's actually 41 Special loads that you can put up. And you can load those in a standard Magnum case. You're just downloading that charge. But I've done that for a lot of years, 38 357. Loaded a lot of 38 Special and both 357. This 41 Magnum category, I'm just starting to work with that. I've shot a lot of the 41 Magnums that I've loaded, and I'm casting a 220 grain bullet for that. But the 41 special, I'm just starting to work with.
Yeah, the only 41 Magnum that I've had any experience with. A friend of mine had one, and he was it was in a Ruger Blackhawk, and I had a 357 Ruger Blackhawk at the time. And actually, I quite enjoyed shooting regular 41 Magnum out of that Blackhawk. It seemed very controllable. It's just that when I got this 44, it's my first 44 Magnum, and I was like, well, it's just a lot of recoil. It's not the first one I've ever shot now, especially in that gun. I said, because the only other one I've shot was a model 629 that my uncle had, and it was not nowhere near this unpleasant at all. But
oh yeah,
it's just a lot.
That ultralight is so light. It's so light that there's nothing really there to help absorb the recoil from that Magnum round. And you're pushing a pretty heavy pill as a rule. It's right around 220, 245. So that's another factor that adds to recoil on it. So yeah, you start off small though. You start off, if you've got that 44 ultralight like I do, start it off with specials, and go to your reloading manuals, and get a nice light 44 special load for that. You'll like that a lot better.
Oh, good. I'm definitely going to try the 44 special regular loads, and then go like you said, go from there. So yeah, it was. Now this is also in a 4-inch barrel too.
So we have gun-toting pacifist out in the crowd, 223 DMR, Patriot in the Dark I saw, and the gun-toting pacifist.
Another yell at Aquaston Miller.
Not in here.
Anyone else that I missed?
I want to take a picture.
I think I've got everybody so far. So RTAC, in the private chat, I put a link to Single Shot's channel.
Oh, okay.
I put one out in the chat.
Yeah, so there's definitely, if you go searching for his, you have to remember the exclamation point at the end after shot. There has to be, otherwise you'll never find his channel.
Yeah, his is another tough one to find. I swear I have gone to sub to him a dozen times, and I don't know how I've not been sub to him.
So
yeah, that's the easiest way to find that is Single Shot, 2 words, and right after the T, immediately after the T, put an exclamation point there. It'll take you right to it.
Okay.
So Mr. FNH says, "Is blue dot powder any good? I keep seeing it listed."
Yes, that's a hot Magnum powder, and it does work well in 44 Magnum.
I have no clue. Like I said, I'm just getting into the reloading game, so I plan to be taking a deep dive into it.
Well, I'm here for you guys. If you need any information, I'll gladly help you out.
Well, thank you a bunch. So, if anyone else has any reloading questions out in the crowd, or Foss, you have any reloading questions? Because I know you're trying to get into it also.
I don't know. One of the
Wife's the damn alarm.
One of the things powder is one of the things that I just don't have a clue. I mean, I bought a pound of, I think, Long Shot, just kind of randomly. I looked at the loading manual, and they've list all these powders, and it's like, well, I guess I'll try this one. I don't. How do you choose one? What's the difference? Is there a chemical difference? Is it just shape difference on the powders, or is it both, or everything, or nothing, or?
Well, there's a lot to it. Your most important part of that is burn rate, and your pistol powders will burn a lot faster than your rifle powders. Magnum rifle powders will burn a lot slower than standard rifle powders, so it's all in burn rate. And you go to the caliber that you're going to be reloading, and find the bullet style and weight that you're going to be working with, and then you look at your list of powders. That will give you a good list to work with as far as information when you go to pick up powder.
Yeah, because I'm planning on starting with 40 and 10 millimeter, and use that to kind of cut my teeth, and then 357 38 special.
Oh yeah. Unique is a good one, 38 357, and it will also work in 40. My go-to powder for 40 that I load for two of them, I got a PT 101, and I've also got a Smith & Wesson M&P 40. That's with a 180 grain cast bullet, and that is accurate number 7 that I'll load on my 40 cal ammo.
To answer Pacifist, no, I don't. I haven't reloaded anything yet. The only thing I've done so far is, I've got my press, I've got dies. Like I said, that the one powder that I picked up, and I've been saving my brass and depriming. We'll probably do, once I get into it and kind of learn what I'm doing, then branch out into 9 millimeter also.
Yeah, that's another one good to work with. The thing about pistol calibers, most of them are all straight wall, and pretty much there's not a whole lot of trimming that you have to do to them. It's a good idea to check them, because it's critical about where you crimp that bullet in the reloading process, especially the ACP series. Your 32, your 25, your 38, the 41 AE Action Express, 45 ACP, any of those calibers like that. It's got a straight wall. They all headspace off the case length. So your case length is critical. It's not so much critical as it is with like 38, 357, 41, 44, 45 Colt. Like I said, it's a good idea to check them and trim it if they need them. And the best way that I have found that I do is to take a set of regular calipers, and I'll look up the trim tool length of that case, set my calipers to that length, and I'll take a case. If it slides through there with no resistance, then it's good. But if I can't slide it through those calipers, then I know it's got to be trimmed. Same goes with any case as far as that goes, rifle or pistol. That's the best way that I've found to do it. In my videos, I use an RCBS power trim mate power trimmer, and that works pretty well. I've had good luck with that so far. 223 DMR. You can if they are boxer primed, but I don't recommend it. Most of the stuff out there, the steel case, is non-reloadable. They're loaded with what they call a Bearden primer, and it's a different style of system that they use on that. And there's a very good strong possibility that you get one of those cases stuck in your reloading guys and you're in trouble. So
What
if you
about
look
like
at
aluminum?
the aluminum, same goes. I've seen them both with Bearden primers, and I've seen them both with Boxer, but pretty much no, I wouldn't do it. People have, but aluminum's not that strong, so something's going to give. It might give in a bad way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've heard a bunch of people say that they would never even think about reloading a steel case just because of how cheap a steel case is and the likelihood of blowing a wall.
Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of its stuff is lacquer covered too, so in the firing process, that lacquer heats up, and it'll leave it in the chamber of your weapon, and it's easy to clean the stuff out, but it just makes a mess. And I don't do it. I'll shoot it once in a while, but most all of my calibers are all brass or nickel cases. Then just makes it that much more safe, in my opinion, to use that stuff. Like I say, people do use it, but I don't recommend it.
So, roughly, how many reloads do you think you can do for a single case? Like 15, depending upon what kind of pressures you're putting in there, like on a pistol case.
Yep, that's your factor right there, is pressure. I had some 38 special cases that I had before the fire down there that as we shot competition 38, I had reloaded those about 15 times. Now your Magnum cases, they'll 8 to 10 times if it's good quality brass. You look for your stretch marks on rifle brass. I've got one video on the whole the whole gambit of my channel, a bunch of the videos that I've done. It's a silent video. I don't know why I didn't have the audio, but it's a short one, and I show a 308 case that shows sign of what they call head separation. And you look at those rifle cases, a quarter to a third up above the base of the case, it'll start showing a bright ring around that case. That's the case you want to destroy and get rid of, because that's about to separate on you. I've still got that case on my shelf up above my bench. The 7mm Magnum, I had one case head separate on that, and it'll aggravate you. You'll open the weapon up and get that base, the bottom quarter or a third of that case comes out, and the rest of it stays in the chamber. So you got to try to figure out how to get that out of there. And the best way that I have found is to use a cleaning rod with a brush and push that into the chamber, and you can pull that partial casing right out of that chamber. It shows you a pretty good good thing to watch on your casings. 38 specials, stuff like that, the lower pressure casings, 9mm 45. Gee, you get 12, 15 rounds out of that case before it finally gives up the ghost.
Either one of you guys have any more reloading questions for Mr. Single Shot?
About 1 billion, but he answered the ones I was thinking of.
So, Patreon in the Dark says, I can't keep up with the text chat. I'm polishing some boots, so make sure you keep me updated. Yeah, there's times that the chat's been going pretty good with internal conversations about reloading and stuff, and yeah, there's definitely a lot of learning to do. So we've got mechanic skill.
Just one thing I can caution on. Don't mix gunpowder and booze or drugs. That is a big time no-no. I had a friend of mine that had a Ruger Super Blackhawk 44 Magnum, and he'd had a couple of snorts. He was loading 44 mags. He made a very large, nearly fatal mistake by reloading rifle powder in pistol cases. That's a lot slower powder. It burns a lot slower, and it changes the chamber pressure of that gun. I was over next door because I was living next door. I heard him shooting, and one shot he fired didn't sound right, and I heard him holler, so I came over. And Rugers are strong, but they won't withstand something like that. It blew that cylinder in half and took the top strap of that revolver frame off with it.
Wow.
He was very, very fortunate. He only got minor cuts and lacerations. So, like I say, you've really got to read your pressure signs, read your book, and follow those instructions, because you're playing with chamber pressure upwards of 65,000 psi in these new Magnum calibers, and that pressure is going to go somewhere if it can't get let out of that barrel. So be really careful.
So Mr. FNH says, does anyone currently have reloading stuff in stock these days? Well, I guess it all depends on what exactly you're looking for, like, in your reloading stuff. I mean, dies, it all depends on where you go looking for your dies. And like cases, I've seen them on different pages. I think SIG had just bags of unprimed brass that you could pick up. Single Shot was saying earlier to check Starline brass.
Yep, Starline's a good one.
He says he needs 44 dies, powder, and projectiles.
It's
So
going
powder-
to be sporadic. So check all your sources. I've even found a few decent buys on Gunbroker, so you can keep track of that stuff. Mid-South Shooter Supply, Natchez, Midway, of course Starline. I was trying to think of the other folks that I do business with. There's a lot of folks, a lot of these distributors, they'll get this stuff in, but it's only there for a very short amount of time. Cabela's at the stores, if you're very familiar with any of those stores in your area. Everglades, yes, that's another source. So there are several sources out there that the way that the supply is nowadays is very sporadic. So you kind of have to keep track of everything, all of your sources.
And one thing with powders, I would attempt to find those locally, unless you're going to be buying, a large quantity. Due to the fact you're going to be paying for your hazmat fees. And so if you're buying a single pound online, your hazmat fee may be almost the same price, if not more, than what that pound of powder will cost you.
Oh yeah, man, them hazmat fees are ridiculous. I've seen a lot of them on Gunbroker, and 1 pound of powder, some of them guys will charge upwards of $100 for that 1 pound. And the hazmat fee, it'll be $25 or $30. So that's crazy. It's like I say, watch your suppliers in the area and check to see what they have, and keep in touch with them. Powder and primers, that's where they get you on the hazmat fee. Ammunition itself, no, there's no hazmat fee on it, but they sometimes will get you on the shipping. That's another point. Some of these guys are getting really crazy with the shipping costs. So, it's just a factor of keeping an eye on what people have, when they have it, trying to be there when they get the stuff in. And new loaders, new guys getting into it, like you fellas here. A lot of these prices you're seeing are way over what they used to be before all this crap with this COVID come in. And, they're charging 2 to 3, sometimes 4 times the amount that what it was before all of this started. So don't gauge these prices nowadays by, well, I guess it was that same price back before all of this. No, no, not at all. So buyer beware, and be careful of who you buy from.
So HIPAA says, don't order whatever your state maximum for storage powder or primer is. I'm guessing there's...
refer that to SAAMI, Small Arms and Ammunition pages. There, if you have more than 50 pounds, it's supposed to be in a locked magazine, as they call it. If you have smaller amounts, it should be stored in a wooden cabinet that is well ventilated, according to their specifications. So a good source for that information, safe storage, is under SAAMI, SAAMI.
And Michael says Midway got free shipping on orders over $49 all the time. So, there's different sites that you can check out for different things. Remember, guys, we're starting to get closer and closer to the Christmas time. shipping rates are going to start rising, and some of the companies who are offering free shipping may not be offering that free shipping because shipping rates are rising heavily right now. And it's not looking like it's going to get any cheaper on the shipping anytime soon. So I know Single Shot can talk about the trucking side of it because diesel isn't getting any cheaper, and diesel prices also equate to how much it's going to cost to get that load down the road. And so that all factors into cost.
Yes, it does. I've been out here for 32 years with this in the transportation industry, and I've done a lot of owner-operator. I've done that side of the house, and I'm a company driver. I've driven 48 states nationwide several times. Fuel price, affects it. Tolls, anything that we incur in the transportation industry gets passed to the bottom line, and that's you folks. So, anytime that you see propositions to run these states run into making new roads or making new toll roads or increasing the tolls or whatever, all of that stuff has got to be considered because we're going to hand those increases on our end down. Unfortunately, that's the way this industry is.
I can tell you right now from the politician side about if Kate Brown and some of her people get their ways, guys like Single Shot are going to be probably quadrupling their rates to come through Oregon. If they even decide they're going to come to Oregon, due to the fact that they're going to put restrictions on what year of tractor you can bring into the state. And then they're going to, charge extra fees for weight.
Well, they were trying to do a toll entering Oregon from Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, any of those tolls get added to us. California is one of the states that a lot of us won't go into because you have to have a California certified truck. You have to have all this DPF and all this stuff on your truck. It's got to be checked to make sure that it's certified for that. The thing that irritated me about California is they make everybody else in the country belly up to the bar with these requirements, but the drivers in their own state are not required to. So it's a slap in the face to us, and we threatened, look, if that's the way you guys are going to be, you better put in cross-dock facilities on your state borders on these highways, because we're not going to bring it into you. You're going to have to bring it to that cross-dock and drop it off there, and another truck is going to have to pick it up from that cross-dock and take it to wherever it's going to go. That's the way it's going to be. It's a tough way to do things about, but that's it.
And then if that happens, then you're going to be having even more fees because now you're going to have people like me that do the shipping and receiving and drive forklifts that are going to have to be at those cross docks to be able to unload and load and be able to reprint BOLs, because once that load is dropped, a new BOL has to be created.
Sure does. I just did one of those loads last week. I picked up a load out of state that was going back to Maine. That had to be cross-docked onto a shipping container that was going to Iceland. So there's another handling fee. The shipper specifically requested a container to load it on, and somebody made the mistake of not putting that into the rate quote. So we got it all straightened out, but we had to have that load rehandled and taken off my trailer, putting onto a seagoing shipping container, and then shipped out.
Yeah, I work food manufacturing, and I deal with trucks all the time. And it's
Well, you're also forgetting they can just avoid the cross docks, and companies just build their terminals on the line, and then just have the yard dog pick it up, and then you won't have to create a new bill of lading at all. You just keep it on a refrigerated trailer if it needs to be refrigerated, and then you just drop and hook. I mean, that's another way around that too. You don't,
but then you're going to do
that's
away
California.
you'll do away with people like Single Shot who are owner operators, because they're not going to drop their trailer, because even if they pick up another trailer.
That's not true. I'm sorry. Single Shot can claim on that. I mean, just because they're an owner operator does not mean they own the trailer. They're picking up for a broker, unless they own their own.
It's a relay.
Yeah, it's just a relay. System.
Yeah, some of those, but if the owner does own the tractor and trailer,
oh yeah, that's a whole different story.
Then they're not going to want to drop their trailer, because they could be dropping a brand spanking new trailer and picking up a POS trailer that they're
Yeah, you're right. I'm not disputing that, but 90% of your owner operators are dropping loads. They're hooking. Yeah, they're dropping hook. They're not going to, because one thing. Here's the thing that you're not thinking of. If that truck ain't rolling, they ain't making no money.
That's right.
So my uncle
and
was
believe
driver
me, fellas, when I had my truck, I had a company trailer, but I owned the truck. And I've had some of those guys refuse those loads, and I turn around and tell them, I look them right in the face, and I told them, I said, if you don't get that stuff off that trailer, I'm going to start charging you $150 a day for storage. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, yes, I can. My name is on that truck, not theirs.
That's right. So, yeah, I've been on both sides of that, because I've had to deal with truckers myself, and I know how it is. And yeah, you're right. But you can only do so much, especially if you're you're security and you're doing the shipping and receiving clerk. You're getting shafted, shipping and receiving clerk, and just getting paid for a security guard.
Oh yeah.
And you're doing their job. I've been there, done that. So you're looking at, but you'll see owner operators that probably will just stop avoiding those states altogether. They don't have to be company drivers doing it.
And avoid the companies as well. When you got a payment, my payment on my tractor was $1,650 a month. And that's not including fuel. That's not including stuff that I had to have for the truck. It doesn't cover fuel. You get taxes. All of that stuff comes out of your paycheck. And I'll tell you, back then, this was in the late 80s. I was running figures in the very low 100,000 area. But my actual take home to the dinner table was about 25 to 30, sometimes maybe $33,000 a year. That's after all these deductions were taken out. So you can see a lot of people tell me, well, drivers make a lot of money. Yeah, they do. But they've got a lot of money going back out. A lot of it. So even though those big top figure numbers are big, the bottom figure that you take home, you actually take home to the dinner table, it's a heck of a lot less.
Especially what? You got to have a minimum $2 million policy?
At least.
I mean, I think that's the bare minimum a trucker can have. It's $2 million policy.
Yep.
Depending
And
upon the
insurance
state.
is crazy.
My buddy who just stopped running as an older operator. And here's another thing too. You gotta take your tax money and send your tax money in too. And if you
That's
don't
right.
do that, and if you don't do that like he did, you end up owing the IRS $10,000 damn dollars.
Been there, done that too.
He never would listen to me. He put me on the account, and you're right. You got all those tolls and all that stuff. You got to pay. You got to keep every damn receipt that you get because you want to try to write as much off as possible. He was making $150,000, $160,000 a year. He'd be lucky if he brought home $50,000.
Yeah.
Work all those
that's
hours,
about right.
bust his ass, and here I am making a job or working a job, getting $16 an hour. I own my house. I own my car is paid off. I have twice the gun collection he's got. Here he is renting, paying for his truck, and he ain't got shit to show for it.
I know it. Been there, done
And
that.
then he just turned around and before he left to start working on trucks, which he makes more money at, he became a company driver again. And then again, now you got to take and then that's another thing too. When you're a company driver, you can't pick and choose your loads all the time.
Oh, your company does.
Yeah, exactly. So you might get to I don't want to drive to New York City, or I can't. You might be able to get out a load every once in a while, but you can't sit there and pick. Well, I don't want that load. I want this one because it pays more. No, they don't. They don't have that option either.
This company here that I'm driving for now is a small outfit. They will not do New York City, and I've already told them. But they keep me plenty busy enough to get a pretty fair paycheck. I don't get paid by the mile. I get paid by the percentage. So the more I do, and I still have to keep in in legal context, I still have to stay legal on my hours of service because all these trucks nowadays are all electronic. We have electronic logs. It's not like the old days. Running 2 or 3 log books. You can't do that stuff anymore. It's not a thing that you can do with these electronic logs.
Yep. Yeah, you can't booger those.
What's that?
Yeah, they won't. You can't. It's hard to booger those.
Yeah, you can't do it. But yeah, it's
there's one way.
It depends on the company you're working for. It really does. It makes a big difference on the company that you're working for. And these folks here, the husband and wife, are religious folks. They're fair. He's helped me out quite a few times there to take care of financial stuff. Whereas with the big companies that I used to work for, they wouldn't even give you a hand if you had to have it. But these folks have it. A lot of the guys out there that are looking for drivers now, if you get into the bigger companies, they don't care. You're just a number. But you get into these smaller companies, and a lot of them will treat you pretty fair. Pretty good folks to work for.
Well, that's almost the fact with any company. If you get into big companies, they don't. Everybody's replaceable. You get in some small company or mom and pop thing, and they'll take care of people.
That's right.
That's just almost. That's universal. I tell you.
So there is one way of defeating the electronic logs, but I am not going to say that. I'm not going to say exactly how to do it because I don't need the DOT knocking on my damn door.
No, I just wouldn't advise it.
No, if you get caught, you're going to be paying a price.
I know a
Unlimited-
trucker. I know a trucker who did it, and he got shut down for 3 days, and he got fined $115,000.
Ooh, that hurt.
Just go ahead and take the 10 years.
Yeah, goes your paycheck for a
Right,
good
yeah.
long time. It's just not worth it. It really isn't.
No. You know, and the sad thing though, if you're a foreign driver out of Mexico, you know, they don't have to do none of the standards that U.S. truckers do.
Oh yeah, they do when they cross
You
that
sure
border.
about that?
Same way with Canadian crosses. They've got different standards they work with in Canada. Once you cross that border into the States, you're on our rules and regulations. FMCSA is really tough on that stuff.
Have you seen some of those trucks from Mexico? I guarantee you they couldn't pass a DOT inspector.
I've seen some, man, oh man.
Okay. Well, we're not talking about Canadians, you know, like Heartland Express, you know, some of those people like that. But yeah, I'm talking about the trucks and the drivers. I don't, you know, have you ever seen a Mexican CDL license?
Yeah, 223 DMR. You're the fella right there that can tell us all about that one, couldn't you?
Yeah. It's a picture of Captain Crunch.
and that's the reason why I keep my mouth shut on that DOT stuff.
I got a brand new truck from a company that I used to drive for out of Western Massachusetts. This thing didn't have 10,000 miles on it. And I went into a produce shack down in Nogales, Arizona, I believe it is. Went down there to get a cross dock coming out of Mexico. This guy came in with a white cab over. He driving like he was Mario Andretti. He wheels that thing around. When he backs up, he takes out the entire right side of a brand new Freightliner. Mine. The guy stood right there on the dock and saw it happen. I had to call my boss about that. I don't know whatever happened to that fella, but
He was
I don't think he's around there anymore.
There was a problem for a while in Spokane, Washington, or kind of around that area where
Mommies and the 15 bucks.
drivers coming down from Canada and they would wreck, and then they would just walk back to Canada and never be seen again.
Brother.
So single shot. He got caught at Little Tokyo. So for people that don't truck or whatever, Little Tokyo is outside of Spokane, Washington. And that DOT wait station is infamous about being little Nazis on they will pick apart every single thing in your logbook. If somehow you manage to get to a location, and they have pretty much figured out from the last time you were like went from a checkpoint to when you hit there,
Yeah.
they will nail you for speeding.
Uh-huh.
If you don't get there at the you have probably like a 20-second window. If somehow you manage to get there faster than 20 seconds, they're probably going to nail you for a speeding ticket.
Yeah. Hi, Robbie. How you doing? Yeah. I mean, with these new trucks, they have a transponder on the things that a lot of drivers don't know about. Those overhead gantries, when you cross under that, you might not have electronic logs, but they've got that computer on the side of that engine that transfers all that information to that DOT scale house. Where you've been, how long you've been driving, what you got on, the whole 9 yards. So when they go in there, they realize they think they've got the system beat, but when they went over that overhang, it read everything off the computer. if it doesn't jive up to what they've got, and you're running paper logs and it don't jive. A friend of mine that used to work for a guy that I worked for down in Georgia found out in Colorado the hard way that is a fact. And he got stopped and shut down for 48 hours. And it cost him a considerable amount of money.
Because not only are you going to face that fine, but if you're not delivering on time, you could end up eating the cost of that load.
Oh, well, if you're an owner operator, but if you're a company driver, the company eats it. And then eventually they'll shit can you for making them eat too many loads. I had to get on to a Swift driver one time. He was acting a fool, and I was like, "Look, your load's not ready," and kept giving me the wrong bill lading number or pickup number. And I was like, "Dude, you're not even in the ballpark. You're missing like 3 digits. So I need the whole number, and none of the numbers you're giving me are right?" So he made him call his dispatch 3 or 4 times. I was like, "Dude, I don't want to tell you." I said, "I got loads. I got 3 loads here for Swift. If you give me the destination and how many units you're supposed to have on it, then I'll let it go that way. But if you don't have the correct pickup number or not," kept acting a fool. I had called cops on him. Then I called Swift, and we got him banned from the property. They probably fired him, but we're talking about Swift. So.
That happens a lot of times with me even today. If I don't get the correct address or the correct numbers that I need, pickup numbers, delivery numbers, etc., I've got to have all of the correct information from the broker or from my dispatch. Because if I don't have it, then I've got to call them and try to figure things out and get the information. Sometimes I'll even have to call the broker to get the information. So it's a lot of time tied up right there in information that should have been included in the dispatch on the load. Correct addresses, phone numbers, contact people, pickup delivery numbers, all that stuff. If it's dispatched properly, then you've got an easy way to go.
Right.
And, 223 DMR. Yeah, I see it. You was out of Georgia there. I lived down there for a while. I don't know why they call them Swift. Yeah. I wish I'd finished training.
Right. Have you seen their training video? It's on YouTube. It's like, you don't know how to drive a big truck? You want to fuck shit up? Come work for Swift.
Yeah. So you know exactly why they're called Swift?
Why?
Because they're swiftly to cause an accident.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
You look at how many. You look how many tractor trailers are stuck under a bridge.
Oh, stuck in the medium, trying to. They're stuck in the medium, trying to cross the medium.
Yeah.
Or when they back up. Or when they back up.
The funniest one is, my GPS told me to turn that way.
Yeah.
Really?
You're going to Cleveland, Ohio, not Cleveland, Georgia. You're in the wrong damn state, buddy.
Well, and a lot of truckers, sometimes they'll grab the car GPS because it's cheaper than grabbing the truck.
Right.
Yeah. Guess what? That car GPS isn't going to tell you the correct routes.
No.
Well, not all the truck ones are right either. But my buddy, he'd call me every once in a while and say, "Hey, this thing's got me going this way. Check it." And I'd do Google Maps, and because my uncle was a truck driver, and I used to go out with him every damn summer, and I would navigate for him, and on old paper maps. So I'd get on the Google Maps and look, and I was like, "No, that's not a truck route. You don't go that way." And you get up there to it, and sure as shit, it wasn't a truck route. And I'm glad I called you. It's okay.
Completely repainted Snyder truck, huh?
Yeah. So, and of course, I always give him a hard time because he started out driving for JB Hunt. So they're like number 2 on the accident scales.
Probably going to let Robbie in here, New York Outcast. He's been on there for a little bit.
It's all right. I'm just relaxing, trying to. Hell of a day today.
Hey, you missed all the reloading talk.
Oh, no, I didn't. I heard it when I was in the shower.
No.
Oh,
There we go again.
yeah.
Rob and bathroom stories.
Yeah, I was just
What's
crawling
the deal
underneath
with that?
one a little while ago.
Well, were the
So,
2 guys out of the tub this time, or were they still in it?
I don't know. Didn't make it inside the house, but yeah, I got harassed by a damn customer. So basically called this morning with this guy had an issue with a water loss or basically pipe leaking underneath his house. So I don't know, it's modulars or trailer homes, whatever. So I was tied up and basically I couldn't get to it till later. You know what I mean, at best. And so he called like one of the biggest people in the phone book. They showed up, ended up going underneath, just ripped the skirting out, left everything laying in the yard, crawled under there, cut a piece of the vapor barrier and the insulation, had him turn the water back on because I guess he's got a valve inside somewhere, which is kind of abnormal, but it's a good thing. He should. But say turn it on, sees it's leaking somewhere, tells the guy that he's got to rip out his heat duct, all the water lines, the septic line, and it's probably going to be like $2,000 to actually replace it. And then, the guy's like, whoa, so charged him he gave him a deal. It's going to charge him $280, but since, he said himself, he didn't really do shit, but cut a hole in his, barrier and take a peek, $200. So, and then of course the guy ended up calling me back and I had to go up there. So, and come to find out, nothing to do with any heat ducts, septic lines, all this bullshit. The guy didn't even go in far enough to find the actual problem. The problem was the shitty manufacturer used like some dollar store glue and the pipe just literally blew out of the fitting. Yeah, so no, I'm pissed. I'm not pissed that I'm up there. I'm just pissed that I got my own shit to do, man. You had a professional, big time company up here, all this bullshit, but yet now I gotta be crawling around under here to see this stupid shit that anybody's grandson should have been able to figure out. So,
Now, did you charge him more than $200?
Did I charge him more?
Yeah.
No, I charged him $150. So
Really?
I mean, yeah.
No, that's not how it works.
I mean, to be honest with you, I had the glue with me. I had packs. I got everything else I need. I didn't bring glue because I wasn't expecting a pipe to just pop out of it. And technically, I'm not a freaking plumber. I do that shit, but I don't have a truck loaded with shit on it like these other guys do. So basically, 20 cents worth of glue fixed the problem. So. And these other people were trying to get them scheduled out in the next week sometime. They were going to get a place out at Greek Peak, spend $300 a night out there to take the family out while everything was getting worked on. Freaking nightmare experience they tried to hit them with for like 20 cents worth of glue.
Now,
So,
when I was working on cars and they would take it to their shade tree mechanic and then end up bringing it back to me, they got charged more. Because my policy was pay me a little now,
you gotta deal with bullshit.
or you're going to pay me a lot more later. And that's the way I rolled. Because I always had FOT time in my estimates. You know what a FOT time is? Fuck off time. I put 1 to 2 hours of FOT time in all my estimates. And I can tell you right now,
I've actually seen a guy write asshole fee on a bill that he turned in. And he got paid for it. Like, that's funny as hell. Like,
Yeah, I always put FOT time. They always, what's that? I say that's the diagnostic machine that I use. We don't have the company don't have. There's one that GM has. It's called Tech 2 and Tech 1, but I have my own. It's FOT. And, and then finally, after working there for 10 years, and service manager comes up to me and says, "What's all this FOT time?" I said, "Don't worry about it." I said, "We getting paid for it, right?" He says, "Yeah." Then shut the fuck up. Because, the labor rate at the shop was like $100 an hour. And I was only getting $16 of it. So I made sure I got me some FOT time. I even charged GM FOT time. They never caught on to it either. When we do warranty work and I'd put FOT time on, and they like, the warranty administrator asked me, she said, "What's this FOT time?" I said, "Just put it under other and then put FOT. Don't know what it is." 10 years, never caught on. Maybe that's why they had filed bankruptcy.
So 223 DMR says, if anybody went through Georgia from 01 to 2010 and ran Highway 84 and Highway 441, you probably saw me.
Oh, he ran 411 into Tennessee?
No, he 444 or 4. Yeah,
he said
441.
Oh, 441.
Yes.
Yeah, I went down to Marietta a couple times. We probably passed.
The 84, that's the one that runs up into Greenville, South Carolina, if I remember.
Yeah, you're right.
So I guess, should I tell him that he allowed a unlicensed trucker to roll down the road?
Who's unlicensed trucker?
When I lived in South Carolina, I drove a company truck
gangster
from Gray Court, South Carolina, to the ports in Atlanta.
Oh, hey, did you run into any of those people that speak Atlantanese? Did I ever tell you about that story? My buddy used to run for Classic out of Tennessee here, and so I went with him, and I had my learner's permit, my CDL learner's permit, and of course for me getting driving experience, I had to go with somebody, right? So I drive a truck, and so we're down there, and this guy comes out of the warehouse, and they got two warehouses. They got an upper warehouse and a lower one, so they got to bring it down with a forklift into the lower warehouse so they can load it on the docks, which is stupid as hell because I guess they was using the upper one it was fed by conveyor belt, and instead of just extended conveyor belt to the lower warehouse, they just had somebody, lift it out with a forklift and bring it down to the lower docks and then load you. So anyway, he come up to the door, opened the door, and I said, "Yeah," and he was the one going to load, and about every fifth word was English. Now, he's an old black guy, probably in his 50s or something like that, or 60s. And I could only understand every fifth word he said because the rest of it, I had no idea. It wasn't Ebonics. It wasn't Southern. I don't know what the hell it was, but it was not English. And I understood what he was saying. And I was like, okay. And I shut the door, and I looked over at my buddy Ray, and I was like, there's a new language right there. He says, "What?" I said, "Atlantanese." We downtown Atlanta.
Well, 223, have a great night. And I see we have Miss Vanessa Kitty in the crowd, so welcome. Yeah. So I was with one of our company truck drivers because every one of our company truck drivers was complaining about this facility, about how they would get backed into a dock and then they would just sit there for hours. And so they would always be late to get back to our plant. And since I was the shipping and receiving manager, I had to go check it out. And so I was flipping one of the drivers some crap. I said, I could easily drive this thing down there. And he goes, yeah, you back them in the docks all the time. He goes, but you don't have a CDL. I'm like anyone's going to say anything. Well, he let me drive for a while. So.
Yeah. Hey, Rob. Rob had somebody asking what part of New York he was in there just a little bit ago.
Yeah.
It don't matter. It's New York. It's all bad.
Yeah, it's all horrible. I'm near the Binghamton area.
Yeah, he says he's by Cuyahoga Lake.
Cayuga Lake. Yeah. Yeah. Familiar with it. Yeah, fellow New Yorker. If there's ever anything going on, we'll have to meet up. Obviously, Rod of Iron's happening in Greeley, PA. 10th, 11th, 12th, I think, or that weekend, October 10th-ish. I have to look it up, but I plan on attending that. So, I don't know, anybody local, anything like that, if you can make it, you probably should. It's a decent time.
Hey, Rob, are you anywhere near Maybrook, New York, off 84?
No, not to my knowledge. It doesn't even ring a bell to me.
He says you're an hour north. He is in Union Springs. That's
Hey, Rob, when you went out there for that plumbing job, was you covered by the union dues?
No.
But the Roto-Rooter guy was, wasn't he?
Probably. I don't know. So, yeah, it's just typical. I was talking about this with my lady the other day. I don't know whose show I was watching. Somebody. It might have nothing to do with guns, but they were talking about, fly-by-night contractors with their rickety trucks and this and that, and no uniform and blah, 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 and, getting shitty work and all this stuff. And, I'm thinking, it honestly pissed me off because you get a bad rap. Like, it's people like that. Maybe I actually do real work and I throw shingles one day in my truck or gravel the next day or, clearing out a garage or whatever, maybe I use my truck for work. You know what I mean? Like, shit, why would I buy a new one to beat the shit out of? It doesn't make any sense. Like, it would slow my work down. I'd have to be more careful about everything. I don't know. It just got under my skin the other day hearing that type of shit. There's a lot of people like that out there, I'm sure. But,
Oh, yeah.
Fully insured. I got reputation. People would, been told they'd bail me out of jail or whatever. All types of crap, my customers. Shit, they get in arguments and want to fight about me. So this is ridiculous. And I drive a 95 with some rust on it. So it just, that big company with all the, pays for the phone book ads, I don't even need to advertise and I got to hide. But those big guys, they get all the damn money, all the new bids, all that shit and everything with their shiny trucks while they running around ripping everybody off. And then people like me, in some sense get shit on, got to come in after the fact to actually save your ass for a better price. It's amazing. But the guy in a rickety truck automatically has got to be like a fly-by-night dude. It just irritates me.
Yeah, but all you have to do is get some t-shirts made.
Yeah. Well, that's not. I mean, not really my point. I've had a basic uniform in the past or whatever. I didn't see any difference, honestly. So, I just try to be somewhat presentable. And honestly, today I was wearing a Tyvek suit under that trailer. But yeah, the point, the big guys tried screwing them. They were too busy, couldn't get to it forever. They were going to be dispersed out of their house, paying to stay somewhere else. And yet I had, my own shit to do, trying to work on magazines in the basement. I prefabbed the walkway and a deck in my driveway. I got to install tomorrow on a job. Let's see. Roof estimate. What else was I doing? I can't remember now. But basically, I had like 4 things going on, and then this shit came in. So, but yet I still saved their ass. So remember that.
So what was you going to go to jail for that they're going to bail you out?
Oh, I have no idea. It was conversations a long time ago. No idea. So, but I've had, basically get Christmas cards, referral. You know what I mean? If I work for you once, you're calling me back, or somebody does. That's just the way it works. And it's not to fix something; it's to work for something else. So, perfect example. They did nothing but try to rip them off. Was going to charge them $280, charged them $200. I fixed the problem in less time, charged them $150. Yeah.
So
it's crazy.
Mechanic Scale Modeling says, sounds like Port Bryan or Barron, New York. Everyone in there has a ladder rack. And then Patriot says, what the hell is Rob going to jail for? Carolina's out there saying, hey. And then Mechanic Scale Modeling says, I'd rather have someone who don't have the big overhead or do it myself.
Yeah, I just advise people shop around. The biggest names in the book aren't always the best. And I could point out like 3 of the biggest names in my area that, I've seen them lap rubber backwards and then want to charge people to come back to repair it. They lapped it opposite, so water comes down and runs under it. You know what I mean? It's like stuff but you could watch a YouTube video and know better than that.
I know. I watch your videos to find out stuff.
Heating and air. My one neighbor was told he needed his thermocoupler went out on the damn thing. And they tried to tell him he needs a whole new furnace, but don't worry, you can't pay for it. We'll give you credit in-house and all this crap. They're one of the biggest ones out there. Paid like $12, put a thermocoupler in, years later working fine. No problem. Yeah. That's just how they do it. It's amazing. So many people don't know, It's like the teenage daughter bringing the car in for a tune-up or something. Like, you can bet your ass they're going to tell you need all this stuff, but dad brings it in, you just get the tune-up. You know what I mean? Half the time. Unless dad sounds like he don't know what the hell he's talking about, and they're going to try selling you this or that. So it's just crazy. Yeah.
I only did that to assholes.
Yeah.
I always thought
it just sucks.
I always thought that getting new radiator
that way.
I always thought getting new radiator bearings was part of a tune-up.
It is. So, I used to
only
charge
for the asshole, right?
only for the assholes. I used to charge the guys and say, I gotta lube your red and white muffler bearings.
I'll tell you one. This happened years ago over in California, fellas. There was these 5 tractors that the government got from Canada. They're Marmons. They're an extremely well-built, heavy tractor. And they were purchased for transporting these nuclear missile parts that they would, remember years ago they were assembling a bunch of those? Well,
yeah.
These fellas were running 48-foot trailers, brand new tractors. They all ran together. And that's what they were carrying. Well, they went across I-10 Banning, the scale house there. And Scalemaster decided he was going to put them all through the inspection. Didn't recognize trucks, didn't recognize any of the company or anything like that. So figured they'd put them through the inspection garage. They went through and sabotaged those tractors and turned around and wrote these guys up for a bunch of stuff that was wrong, that was bad on the tractors. Now, I'll refer back. These things are brand new. So, their escort, which happened to be an Apache aircraft, was wondering why those trucks would stop at that scale house. They found out the federales went in there and found out what was going on, and they told them, "You're not only going to repair those things you messed up on those tractors. We're going to have chat." They got everything squared away, back the way that it should have been. Took a little while to do it. Well, all this time they're watched by SP and airborne observation, shall I say. When they got done, the people in that DOT scale house was called. Every one of their supervisors was called. And then they turned around and said which one was going to stay to run the scale house, and they fired the entire crew. They're all under government paychecks. So, needless to say, that poor guy was standing there by himself, all by himself in that scale house, and the fellas got their truck squared away, and they went on about their business. That happened a long time ago in California. So, yeah, I know all about these people that can be really crooked and cause these kind of problems. You got a CYA out there. I'll tell you, if you don't, you're going to pay.
Yeah, Patriot in the Dark says, just because you missed it earlier, if you are good at arm wrestling, you can win your very own rig and trailer.
I think it's a reference to Over the Top, the movie.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Stallone, he arm wrestled.
I've seen a lot of strange stuff in the truck stops. So I've never seen one of those arm wrestling tables in one.
Yeah, but how many wadded up napkins did you see on the steps?
Lots of them. Uncle Lee told me what not to touch. Don't touch that shit. That's what he said. Don't touch none of that. I've been in some really nice truck stops. I'll tell you the one that I really do miss that I always liked was the one that was on Mount Eagle off 24. You go into Nashville, Chattanooga, Nashville. I always did like that truck stop. I don't like the new one that's there now. But the old one was typical truck stop again.
I think I stopped at that one, Mount Eagle, one time. If it's the same truck stop, I don't know if it's the same one that you're talking about now. But
there's only one there.
yeah, it wasn't all that impressive.
That was probably my favorite one. Now, the one that I stopped at, I don't remember where at in New York, but it was in New York. The whole damn truck stop was like over like a bridge. It was built on a bridge or something over the. I don't remember which one it was, but it had restaurants in it and all kinds of shit. It was almost like a little miniature mall or something.
Yeah, I got one in Pennsylvania that is like that on I-70-76 junction. I can't remember the name of it now. It's a pretty good sized place. But it's getting harder and harder and harder to find a truck stop. It's got a restaurant nowadays. Most of them are, the big chains. They're pulling them restaurants out, putting in faster foods. They're putting in McDonald's and Burger King and Taco Bell and all this other stuff. Good God, you can't even get a decent meal out here anymore.
Crap food.
The Pilot in Rice Hill, they have a little mom and pop restaurant there. But yeah, the Love's that's not too far away. I think it's got Arby's.
That's the other thing too. Majority of them truck stops are all corporate owned too now.
Yeah, they are. Loves,
They're
TA
even-
Petro, Flying J, Pilot. Good grief.
Yeah.
Now some of them, I gotta give them credit. Some of them, if they took the restaurant out, they have the fast food, but they got a pretty good deli in there that you can get hot food from. Some of them places are pretty good.
Yeah, it's not like they were in the good old days.
There's a truck stop. It's northern Oregon, kind of by the Salem area. I don't think it's a name brand like TA or Flying J or any of them, but they have a couple different. They have a fast food restaurant in there. This place is just monstrous. They've got a Popeyes in there. They've got like a regular mom and pop restaurant in there that does seafood and stuff like that. And they've got a arcade in there. This thing is just monstrous out there.
I stopped by Salem last time I was through, pulled in to get gas, Dunkin' Donuts down in town there down off the highway to the left, I guess. God, I'm trying to think. Something happened. I can't remember what it was, but people seemed funny. And then I realized that we were in Salem, and I was like, "Oh, that's something." And then went and got gas, and they had went and get gas, and they had like weed and shit right on the counter. Like I was like, "What the hell?" Like, I don't know if it was weed, CBD. It looked like weed. Just right there, glass jars. There was a lady sitting there playing a slot machine next to the counter and shit, like a legitimate slot machine. I'm like, holy shit! Like, it's amazing how different states are. You know what I mean? That's something you don't see in New York. So, at least not at a normal store.
In Oregon, they used to have pull tabs at gas stations. You could go to like Chevron, tell them to fill up, and you could go inside and play pool tabs, like what you'd get at a bar in most places. And now they don't do pool tabs anymore. It's all the electronic poker machines or whatever.
Oh yeah, gambling machines. Hello, AR Guns 1776. How are you?
Yeah, we were talking about you earlier, AR. And I guess, what was it? Guns and Barbecue is the one that designed his logo, along with Echo Reloading. So,
yeah, did a good job on those.
Yeah.
Now I gotta ask, is he like disabled for being blind? I don't know if he's out there or something. I'm just curious because, for a blind guy, how the hell is he designing stuff and all this stuff? You know what I mean? I mean, he's got some sight. Obviously, maybe he can't drive, but I'm just curious what level that's at or whatever. I think he's considered legally blind, right?
He's past legally blind due to the fact I think he's got he can see about 3 feet in front of him at max.
So then what's his problem with checking out a girl? He was telling me before that by the time he realizes how they look, he's already like dedicated and, and he's stuck on an inbound kiss or something, on the second, third date. So I'm just trying to wonder, if he can design all this shit, you figure he'd be able to check a girl out from 2-3 feet away.
It might be less than that. It might be a few inches.
You don't necessarily have to kiss her. You can just reach around the table to grab something to get a good look.
Wait. Are we gonna take this conversation triple X right now?
No. This is like
I just want to know
PG-13.
that's a hell of a comment from a man who went and used the bathroom with two other guys in a tub.
Hey, I didn't know two guys were in that tub. Damn it! And I wasn't.
Well, they knew you were in
already
there. And you were packing heat.
midstream by the time I realized. So what are you gonna do at that point?
Well, how the hell are you legally blind too? Then
No, I just don't expect the naked guy or guys in the tub. So no.
I would make sure I was the only one in the pisser, though.
I tell you what, I always check the tub now.
So
I bet you do.
PNW says yes. He can see 3 inches well and outlines at about 3 feet. So he
Yeah, he
says
should be able to see him then.
to see his phone, he has to hold it 3 inches from his face.
Hell, I do that now, and I'm not legally blind yet.
So Michael Hurtnext is asking Rob, you got in a tub with 2 guys?
Hell
to
no.
leave him in there.
Once I realized the situation, I was in shock and awe, and then trying to wrap things up real quick and get the hell out of there. And then I basically said it was time to go because I don't know what the hell's going on in there. And this looks like one of them bad movies, and we need to leave before the police show up and start taking names.
So, Andy, it's worse than that. It's
There's
not
a lot worse than that.
something wrong with you guys sharing a hot tub. No, this was just a regular
Oh,
tub.
good
to
lord.
shower in.
Exit stage right.
Rob walked in and didn't realize there were no women in this place at all, and guys were dancing with guys. And I believe
This was
I
a
believe
chick's
the
house.
club. I believe the club was called Blue Oyster. Anybody catch that? The Blue Oyster Club,
Oh yeah.
Police
So
Academy.
That should have been a big giveaway by itself.
Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
PNW said
No,
was 2 guys, a tub, and a pisser.
Yep.
Terrible sitcom.
That's terriblesite.com. I don't think it is.
I ain't happy about it. But no, it wasn't no damn club. It was a house party. And the girl, actually, she used to live upstairs from me a long time ago at another place. She moved to a different place at that point. But it basically, somebody I knew's place for quite a while. So, but I wasn't expecting to see that in there.
Yeah, Rob. I'm not sure that going to help out because now it's Michael Hurt. It says sounds like 3 girls in a cup. Well, it was 3 dudes in a tub.
No.
With chocolate and vanilla.
So one in shock, pissing in the toilet.
I'll tell you what, it wouldn't take me long to get my stuff together and get the hay out of there.
Yeah, it didn't take long.
Did you never, I never did ask you and you never did tell us. Did you finish peeing though?
Honestly, I don't remember. I mean, it happened. I probably for a second or two, until I could get it to stop. Because when you're midstream, it's hard to stop. And then obviously hustled out, and we left pretty much immediately after because like I said, I don't need to be involved or in any of that shit. And I don't even know if the one guy was even conscious. So
Oh shit! You might have walked in on the murder. He might have blew over and killed himself or something, or died right there.
I got no idea. All I know is he was butt ass naked in the tub, and there was another dude that was pretty much naked over him. So I don't know. They weren't like getting busy, but I think I interrupted like the dude trying to get busy. So I don't know.
Well, if the guy was unconscious, how could he give consent?
I don't know. I wasn't asking questions. I got nothing to do with it, man.
You should have been in there asking questions.
So yeah, we were definitely talking a lot of reloading at the beginning of this stream, and then somehow it ends up with Rob in a tub.
See, you guys are bad. This wasn't me. This was you guys.
It wasn't me at all. I had no part of bringing up you in a tub.
The thing is that Rob should never told that story to begin with. If he never would have told the story, then it'd never ever get brought up.
Can't share nothing with you guys. Just think of all the stuff I haven't told.
If there's anything worse than that, I'm not sure we want to know.
Like, if you knew what I was looking at right now, you'd be amazed.
TMI.
I don't know. I'm kind of curious. What are you looking at?
What?
What are you talking to?
The world.
The world.
Who the hell's Harold?
Is that the misfit out there? The better half?
Yes, it is.
The one you attempted to kill 2 weeks ago?
No, I didn't try to kill her. It's not my fault on your side of the bed.
You're a fucking liar. I'm going to your ass.
Is he going to bed strapped now? Okay, you're going to have to elaborate on this. How you tried to kill her 2 weeks ago.
He was cooking.
I got forced to cook dinner because this jerk didn't start his show on time. And then I followed directions and it didn't go well.
What did you burn it up?
I don't know.
What the hell would you make?
It just came out bad. Well, that's the thing. My ghetto oven went out somewhere in the cook time. So then I had to reset the whole thing. And so it was partially like thawed and cooked and blah, blah, blah. So it like screwed it all up. So
He tried giving raw friggin' chicken to his woman and kids.
No, it wasn't. If anything, it was probably overcooked. Because I had to reset it and then I ran it for the full time.
If it's still frozen in parts, God almighty.
The point is, you don't want me to cook unless it's one of my specialties. That's the point.
I'm not even going to read that comment from Gun Loving Grandpa that's on the screen to you, Rob. You can definitely read that one yourself.
You do.
Jeez, you can't cook chicken. What the? I don't want you cooking anything else.
I see we got Jet out in the crowd. Welcome, bud.
Get down.
Buck's crazy.
What in the world? What cartoon is you watching?
Dave and Ava is what he's watching, whoever the hell that is. Sit your ass down. That ain't hot. That's a pumpkin. Yeah, Halloween.
So that's why we can understand that Patriot always says Good evening, and Rob.
I'm getting molested over here. I gotta go, guys.
Wish you did.
Hey,
Well, what are you doing? All right, I'll catch you guys later.
Later, Rob.
should be whooping his ass for trying to kill her with chicken. Come on.
Just it sounds like a horror movie.
Death by chicken.
Oh, I see we got Mario Molina out in the crowd. Welcome. Barnaby Sanchez is out there. So I don't know. This chat has definitely been everywhere. Single Shot's like, what did I sign up for?
Oh, it's been fun with you guys. I gotta turn you loose though, because I gotta get up in the morning. I still got about 300 miles I gotta run. So, if you guys have any questions, feel free to get in touch with me, and I'll do my best to help you out. I have taught guys how to reload right over the phone. Last one that I did here was Travis P11. And he's doing pretty well with it so far. So I will help you out. Just give me a call.
What I would one thing I would suggest, Single Shot, is in your about section, put your phone number as a verified, so they actually have to be a verified, person before they can get your phone number. Just like if you go with like a email address, if you go on my about section to get my email address, you actually have to have so they know that you're an actual not a robot or whatever.
Oh yeah.
This way you don't get some crappy phone calls.
Oh yeah.
Pick a couple up.
Thank you again for coming on and helping us with a bunch of knowledge and answering all the reloading questions that we did have.
Yeah, no problem. I'm going to drop that in the PM.
Okay.
I just did that. So you guys will have that. That's not a problem. I don't mind you calling during the daytime. If I'm around, which I usually am, give me a holler. I'm going to try to do you up a video and post it on the channel there for the gas checks too, guys. So that'll help you out quite a bit there too.
Yes, that'll be pretty good for everybody. Kind of giving a little rundown on there.
Yep. Good enough, gents. Take care. God bless. America moves by truck.
Be safe. Keep the rubber side down. So we got Tread out in the crowd. He was he's another one that's got great knowledge on reloading, even though he'll tell you he knows nothing. So I've been really looking at a Beretta 96D. And
why would you want one in an obsolete caliber?
40 will be around long after we are gone.
I just had to throw that out there. You should say, says the man who owns 2 Smith & Wesson M&Ps and 40.
All right.
Maybe 2 buds.
Mario doesn't like the 96D. I don't know. The 96D looks pretty nice. I mean, I could go with like a 96G that has the decocker on there. But
I would go with the decocker personally.
the 96D doesn't have any of that. No decocker, no
Oh,
safety.
wow. I would go with the decocker. That's just me, though.
Well, you can convert them.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Decockers.
Yeah, you can take a safety and turn it to a decocker. That's not a problem. But the one I'm looking at doesn't have either of those. No safety, no decocker. So.
Mm. Oh, yeah. Thanks for me winning there, boss. Is that a real silver coin? Is that a real silver coin? Or is it? Okay. I saw those on eBay. I thought I got some of the gold ones from the Continental. I'll go give one of them put back for the Christmas present for my nephew.
Yeah, it's 0.9999 silver.
Cool. I was going to get one of those, and now I don't have to.
Yeah, don't forget to get DM Foss your address.
I'm pretty sure I still have it. I'll have to go through my check my addresses, and then if I don't, then I'll just email you and get it from you again.
It's okay, buddy.
I think I have it, if nothing else.
Yeah, you never sent me that AR mag.
What AR mag?
I don't know. You said something about AR mag. I said I'll send you an AK mag for it.
Oh, you're talking about the Mean Arms. Yeah, for a 9mm version.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I did with that.
You'll be at the range one. You'll be at the range one day trying to load 223 into it. What the hell's wrong with this magazine?
Nope. It's still in the factory packaging and everything. So, well, thank you, Mr. G Webbs. So we've had 19 thumbs up.
I don't think I thumbed it up. No. There you go. You got one more.
I would have thumbed it down just because.
Well, I'll give you the finger, but there's no finger.
I know.
They should have that option. Thumbs up, thumbs down, and fingers.
I would hope, at that point, I'd hope everyone just gave me the middle finger. I would probably be more apt to tell people, hey, because they tell you, oh, you're supposed to promote thumbing up or thumbing down and commenting on your videos and on your live streams. I never do that kind of crap. Hell, I don't even promote my own Patreon page. I mean, a thumbs up and a thumbs down, no matter what, it just goes the algorithm. I mean, this guy here has a link if he ever wants to jump in. Yeah, that's one thing. Trying to get all the information for
Mute him.
Reloading. I know. You'll have to unmute yourself, Artak, when you're ready to speak. But
What did you say?
nothing.
Well, we couldn't hear over the rattling.
So, I was watching some of the GRPC and everything. But I stopped right about 2 o'clock or so. I stopped watching it because I was over on Foss's live stream for a while, and then I had to get prepped for my live stream. Echo, another guy. If you have any reloading questions, he's definitely got a good reloading channel.
Yeah, he's been doing reloading chats.
Yep, him and AR Guns will switch back and forth on who's going to do it on their channels. Those guys are a pretty good duo. So now I got a question, Patriot. Did you really watch it all, or did you just listen to it all? Curiosity.
Night, G.I.
Have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. And it doesn't always go down these kinds of rabbit holes. Okay, I'll give you that justification. That's a great way of classifying it. He says he had it on the big screen all day, and he was looking in that direction at least.
Wait a minute, that doesn't count. He's blind. He's legally blind, so just because you're looking at it.
Patriot in the Dark is actually blind.
He's totally blind.
Yeah, he's not legally. Guns and Barbecue is legally. So yeah.
Yeah, so he just so that doesn't count then because he couldn't see it.
That's why I was giving him a bad time. But you want any great videos? Watch a single one of his takedown videos or any of his videos where he will describe that and be spot on. I mean, yeah, if I were to attempt to do like a third of that, I would have screwed it up like 45 times.
Oh, he does great videos. I like some of the series that he does. What do you want, buds?
I mean, yeah, it gets pretty darn good. I've taken up a couple of his challenges, like the no sights challenge.
Yeah,
those are fun. Where you're not using any sights or any scopes or anything on and you're just trying to either your rifle or your pistol. Yep. Hey, woman, will you light up some cigarettes? Oh, that was probably Obnoxious one. I know Obnoxious put out a video earlier today on a Timmy trigger.
Timmy trigger? What the hell's a Timmy trigger?
Timony trigger.
Oh.
Okay, well, he decided to kick himself. So, yeah, it seems like Trump's rallying almost every Saturday night here lately. I don't even know.
I see, but
The only way I could truly see him getting on the ticket again in 2024 is if he runs as an independent. The RNC definitely isn't going to let him get on there. They'll do whatever they have to block that.
I don't think they'll be able to.
And the DNC will do the same thing.
He's still got a lot of influence.
Oh, yeah, he does. I just don't see them. They'll do whatever they can to try to block him.
Well, if the pandemic is still going, they'll just beat him with fraudulent mail-in votes. You know, like the 17,000 that they found there in Arizona, in the Republican county. You've seen that, right? 40,000 votes and Social Security numbers don't match up for the people.
They're already saying that COVID's going to be going into late 2023.
Oh yeah, because because the Democrats know they're on the verge. They're going to lose the House and possibly the Senate, and then that's actually our only hope, really. If they lose both, or at least the House, and then that way, that pretty much puts Potato Brain and the Hoe in lockdown for the last 2 years of their presidency.
They'll just go to
executive orders.
Yep.
But that's going to be limited because you have supposedly a conservative-controlled Supreme Court. So, and he's already had a couple, like that eviction moratorium. I mean, really, you can make the case now to impeach them both. Impeach him for being, physically unable to do the office, and you can impeach Kamala for failing to invoke the 25th Amendment. But guess who that leaves as president? Skeletor Nancy Pelosi.
I think it actually.
No,
it would.
Speaker of the House is number 3.
Now, if they all of a sudden bring up the fact that there was election fraud, it would put it into the Supreme Court.
No, there's no precedent for that. There's nothing in the Constitution that says anything about a stolen election. So you can only impeach them. You see what I'm saying? You can impeach him for being elected fraudulently. But that would still make Pelosi president.
Yeah, and then you use the 25th on her to remove her.
Oh no, she's all there. That's why she's a cash.
No, she's not.
Yeah, she's there because if you look at her power and what real power she has is raising money for the DNC. I mean, she is a cash cow for them. When that woman passes away, they're going to lose money out the ass. I mean, it's going to be hilarious. They'll lose half a $500 million easily just from her not being around. So regardless, we're stuck with those idiots. And honestly, I would rather keep. Don't use my socks. I'd rather keep them around with them in a lame duck presidency because there's not a lot of damage they can do that Congress couldn't do. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
I threw I threw the StreamYard link out in the crowd. If Echo wants to jump on or not, probably go for a little bit longer. Mr. Carolina EDC, you've been on here patiently, and we haven't talked with you a little bit. So, what do you have going on with your channel there, bud?
A lot, as usual. Not enough time as usual to do everything I need to do, but yeah, there's a lot coming up. Just gotta find the time to do the videos.
Oh yeah, real life gets in the way of that.
Yeah. I think, in my opinion, about the Trump thing, I think there's gonna be somehow, some way they're going to, Biden's going to get removed and they're going to let Trump back in the last few months of what the term is, and then that's going to put him at a second term, so he won't be able to run again.
There's no way for them to put him back in power. Only way they could put him back in power is that in 2022 the Republicans gain the House back, and then they elect him as Speaker of the House, and then impeach Biden and Kamala, and then that's the only way he'll be president again. They just can't reinstate him. There's nothing in the Constitution saying how to do that. There's only one way to remove a sitting president and vice president, and that's through impeachment. And then the line of succession is clear, and it goes down to the Speaker of the House.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was trying to say, but
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's the way they're going to try to keep him from running for 4 years and let him run for like the last few months of the term where he cannot do nothing.
Pretty much he'll have the last 2 years that Biden would have. So, and then he could technically, he can still run because he wasn't, you see what I'm saying? He wouldn't be elected to that position. You see what I'm saying? You can only be in office for 4 years being elected, but he could still be a Speaker of the House made that way. He could actually get 6 years.
Okay.
And the scary thing is that Kamala can actually get 10, because if they impeach him in 2022, let's say, and they get him removed, she becomes president. She does the rest of his term. Then she can run 2 more times. And if she wins 2 more times, which I don't ever see that happen, but that could give her potentially 10 years as president.
Oh yeah.
So that's the thing, when you got to spend X amount of time in, because if they impeach him now and she gets it now, then I'll have to read the law or the Constitution, but I think it would be considered her first term because she's finishing, or he hasn't been in over 2 years.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of gray area when you get into that stuff like that. That's not really spelled out real well, and then which might be spelled out to some people real good. The Democrats will say, "Oh, we got to take this to the Supreme, or we got to take this to court." Blah blah blah. This and that.
Welcome, Trent.
Really
how's it going?
Hey, fellas, how's it going?
Not bad at all.
Just driving down the road, from meeting up with Willie Bulletman and Jamie and Stage 586 and Kyle and Mike Kessler and Old Soldier. It was a fun day.
You guys get a lot of shooting done?
We didn't do no shooting. I mean, unless you want to count Old Soldier shooting a video. But other than that, we just hung out and shopped a little bit in Mike's little store and ate some lunch and had a good old time.
Sounds like a good day.
I gave Jamie a little bag of brass. I had 100 brand new 40s 50 West brass. I gave him to send to you for that other stuff.
Thank you. I'll definitely come in handy.
I think he's got you 200 once fired or however many fired or whatever it is. But I know I had those 40. So 100, it was 100 in a baggie of brand new brass. I was like, I'm never going to use it, so I'll send somebody who can.
I will definitely be using them up. So now I'm looking at adding another 1 or 2 40 cals to my collection.
I heard you talking about the 96 in the Junior G, and you obviously have to go with the G.
I don't know. I really I like that D model. Have you seen that 96D?
So then you have to change your name to D23.
Well, actually, I might be rebranding the channel altogether to make it a little easier to find and to be a lot more.
How hard does it take to type in G23?
It's not that hard, but when you actually type that in,
there's 1,000 of them.
Yeah, you're gonna pop up like any. You're gonna pop up any like Glock 23 videos from like Hickok.
You got sorted by user.
No, there's a ton of G23s.
Yeah, there's some boating channels that are called G23 boating.
Huh.
Yeah, it doesn't just pop.
So
I was thinking.
So just use a random letter number generator and use that as your name. Nobody else will have it.
That might work. I'm probably gonna go into something about like reloading and reviewing, somewhere in there. I haven't completely broke down how I'm gonna go doing the rebranding and everything, so that this way it's a lot more like kind of inclusive on all of the aspects of the 2A community. Because I like doing interviews, especially with a lot of the 2A advocates. I've had Derek from Kids Safe on, and I didn't know anything about his organization until I had him on, and actually really sat there and talked with him. And he has a really great organization for teaching firearm safety to kids.
Yep. Why don't you go your West Coast 2A Authority? You know, since you're out there on the coast.
How about 3 men in a tub?
Yeah. Rob's already got that one.
That'd be Rob D. That'd be the New York Outcast. I can't take that one.
That's his B channel.
That's right.
So, yeah. Yeah. Michael Hurtnett says, it don't come up.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I may run some kind of a contest or something and see what some of the viewers come up with for possible names, and then maybe turn it into like a voting kind of thing.
Yeah, you could do that.
Who knows?
Did you ever break 300 yet? I know you're like 3 away.
Yeah, no, I think when Foss looked earlier, I was at 305.
Cool.
So, yeah. Mr. M. Gabriel is out in the crowd. Welcome. So, yeah, he was over last night with Georgia Shooting Connection. He was out there while I was on the panel. So, I see we got Ozzy out in the crowd. Welcome. Oh, 306. So, see, it's starting to go up. Yeah, Ozzy says he just got off work. That advertising takes forever. Printing up all those McDonald's flyers.
When the hell did McDonald's do flyers?
They used to do them back all the time. You used to get the little news, McDonald's ad in your newspaper.
Oh, okay. They still do that?
I don't know. I didn't realize newspapers were still a thing.
Yeah, slightly. Now they come as part of junk mail. Those, we always get them from either Subway or Burger King or Captain D's.
What were you going to say there, Mr. Tread?
I'm saying the coupon flyers.
Yep, coupons. Coupons. Coupons.
So
I think the most used coupons in the world are Harbor Freight.
Well, they went on digital.
Yeah, I get all that right to my cell phone.
All right, that's the most coupons people use is Harbor Freight.
I agree. Also,
Go there, you gotta have a coupon.
Yeah, don't go to Harbor Freight and then fill out for one of those credit cards, because then you'll be in debt to them.
They just sent out a deal. If you don't have one of the Harbor Freight credit cards,
yeah,
and you go in and you get your Harbor Freight, you get, what's it?
20% off.
Yeah, 20% off. You get 10% off on top of the 20% you'd normally get.
But they charge you like $2 a month, every month, no matter whether the balance or not.
So they have a yearly fee.
Yeah,
monthly fee.
Yeah, well, some of those places they have like a yearly fee, but then they break it down to
monthly payments.
Extra, either monthly payments or you spend or X amount of dollars, so many months out of the year.
They worded it as a $2 minimum interest charge.
Yeah. I wouldn't be getting that card.
I got it. I don't recall seeing. I have to look on my next statement when I get one. If they do,
I guess it's fine if you got a balance, then you get charged regular interest. But if you have zero balance, you get charged $2.
Yeah, that's not too bad, because you'll make that up in the coupons. And
that's right.
So when I went and did the card there, because you got that 30% off. Well, my nephew works there, and I got his 20% off too. So I bought like $400 worth of stuff and only had to pay $200 for it.
Yeah, you do it on those big ticket items when you want to get one of those.
Yep.
I mean, I wouldn't mind having their PTO generator.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd have to, when I get the money, I'd have to then sign up for the card and all that stuff so I can get that extra discount.
Have a good evening, Michael. Yeah, I don't know. I've got too many damn credit cards as it is.
I got it made right now, brother, because I got one nephew works at Harbor Freight, the other nephew works at Lowe's, and then their oldest sister works at, one works at Home Depot, right? One works at Harbor Freight, and then their oldest sister works at Lowe's. So I can go around and get all the discounts.
5-finger discounts don't count.
That's right.
What if I got 4 fingers and a thumb? Does that count? What the hell am I still watching Elmo? He's not even in it.
It's supposable, right?
Yeah, it's supposable.
So
So yeah, I get to use all. They all have like 20, or the Home Depot I think 15%, and then Lowe's is 10%. So, but Home Depot does the same thing. People, I get all kinds of stuff in the mail. Use my Home Depot card, and I thought, no, there's some things I need to do. I need to put some mulch out, patch my driveway. So,
the Home Depot card is a nice card to have for like if you're going to do big ticket items.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's it, 18 months interest free?
Yeah. Yeah, they had some other stuff too where it was where they don't do the interest, where you pay it off, and same as cash.
Yep.
Plus 20% off. So I was like, man, I don't really need anything right now. Big ticket item wise. That's why I got a Home Depot and Lowe's for hot water heater or something of that nature.
Why do you need a hot water heater?
Because I like hot water.
Well, if your water is already hot, why do you want to heat it?
Make it hotter.
Just curious.
I think I've thought about going with those tankless water heaters.
Those are nice. There's no doubt about that.
But then there's pros and cons to that also.
That's true. Wait a minute. You don't even own a house. You're renting still. Or did you find a house?
I don't rent.
I thought you rent.
I want to buy a different house.
Oh. I was just I did not understand. I know you looking for a house.
Uh-huh. Oh, he printed for State Farm today. Ozzy was out there. I probably get his junk mail all the damn time from State Farm. What's the other one? Amica. You're a lucky person who's only, very few people get this mail. Bull
Not
crap.
if you want the mailman.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, you ask the mailman. Everybody gets that junk.
Oh, yeah. I mean, come on. They're trying to get new business. So, yeah, of course, they're mailing it to everybody. Yes, I watched GRP. I commented to you over there, M. Gabriel. I watched it for a few hours earlier today. But yeah, then I had to go do a couple things and ended up jumping on DM Foss's live stream and then had to start up this one. So I didn't get to watch all of it.
Did they say anything?
Watch some of it.
Did they say anything important or? I tried to watch it. I just couldn't.
What?
I found myself yelling at the computer more than listening.
There was some good stuff said, but nothing that I had seen, talking about really a direction on how to go about advancing the 2A, mainly the just, paying attention to the votes and holding your people accountable and,
Well, that's where it needs to start at. You notice that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And getting involved in your local politics and getting involved with your local and state level 2A organizations.
I will say this, that donating is a good way of helping out if you can. If you sign up on Amazon Smile, anything you spend, they will send a donation to an organization for you just it don't cost nothing. And I'm on that, and GOA is on there. So anytime you buy from Amazon, a portion of that could be donated to GOA automatically.
Yeah, I do that same thing.
I don't with Amazon because Amazon's anti-gun.
Yes,
and
but
they're
it's
a
a way of
left-wing.
it's
They're
a
a
way of
left-wing.
taking it. Oh, go ahead.
They're going to get their part of that money though.
Right.
You're buying from them, so they're
Yeah.
getting money from you. So you're basically defeating the purpose.
But you're also
Because you're
feeding the
giving-
right too by giving some to the GOA.
Yeah, but you're defeating the whole purpose when you just donate to the GOA outright.
Well, yeah.
And then
Also-
Amazon, then Jeff Bezos won't have no money to help Bloomberg fund anything.
Oh, he's going to have all the money.
I
Well,
mean,
he's getting money anyway, but I'm saying, why give him money? Why give somebody money that don't support you?
well,
when you don't have
you go to Walmart,
Nope.
there's
a
a
lot
bunch
of
of those companies out there that are,
places out there.
Right. I don't go to Walmart. Walmart is always the last place I go to if I can't find it anywhere else. That and Amazon, unfortunately.
yep.
I know I worked at a distribution center. And I know their policies.
Yeah,
So,
I don't go to Amazon unless I absolutely have to. But if I do buy stuff from Amazon, I still have it set up that the donations go to,
you try
GOA.
to get to affiliate program. I mean, they're fine for affiliates and all that. I mean, but the point is, though, they're going to get money from it. I don't want to. If I can help not supplying money to anti-2A organizations, then I'll pay more to go to mom and pop. I'll avoid them as much as I can within reason. You know what I'm saying?
Do you
Hey,
have?
G, I'm pulling into the driveway now. I'm going to jump off, say hello to the wife and the dogs and everything. But I'll be probably listening on the side chat.
Yep. Thank you for joining for a while, Tread, and enjoy your evening.
We're going to try. Have a good one.
Yep.
Bye,
you-
everybody.
Later.
Right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna jump off too.
Go ahead, give your closing plug there, Foss.
There were links. If somebody could put Carolinas, I didn't get Carolinas or Tread. Links to channels that have been on. Give them check them out, or check out anybody that's out in this chat, or better yet, start making videos yourself, because you never know who wants to hear what you have to say.
Are you going to be doing a chat later this evening?
Yes. 1 a.m. Pacific, 4 a.m. metric. And Artec,
Yes.
pick a color. Black,
Blue.
blue, or red?
Blue.
Blue? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll send you a shirt that's blue.
If you don't have big boy size, make it extra large.
It's 2XL.
Okay.
Carolina's link is out in the crowd now.
So everybody have a good night.
You too.
Later,
And
boss.
if I'm awake at the ungodly hour of 1 a.m., I will jump on there and watch and give you hell.
Okay. Well, don't strain yourself.
If nothing else, I'll just leave some random crazy comment.
Sounds good. Talk to you guys later.
Later.
Later, man.
I might have to get up. I might have to get up at 4 just to do that. Say I saw DM Foss open mouth kiss a horse one time. That'd be hilarious. Yeah, I think I think I'm gonna sit down this weekend and write up 10 things that I think all gun owners should unite behind, and see if we can make the gun organizations to agree to that list, or at least try to vote on it at least, and or condense it down to 5 maybe, and use that as our battle cry. Like for instance, at the gun shop today, guys in there say, "I figured if we gave them those bump stocks, that they would leave us alone." I was like, no. I said, first off, when you give them something, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. So what have they done? What have we seen from the bump stock fiasco? They ban those, and then they go after other pieces of plastic, like stock, like the pistol braces. That's the next thing they went to. Oh, we got the bump stocks. Maybe we can get these. And I was like, that's the problem with people, is that they'll cave in and give them something, and that's how they've defeated it. That's how we've been defeated over the last 50 years on gun rights issues, is because we keep appeasing them and trying to compromise. You can't compromise with somebody who don't want you to have those items to begin with. So if you don't want somebody to read, you do one or two things. One, you don't teach them to read. Two, you take the printing press away from them. Take their voice away.
Yep.
So that's why number one should be no new gun laws, period. Nothing new. There's 40,000 laws on the book. None of them work. Let's realize that we have accountability problems with people, holding them accountable. You pop somebody in California, they'll let you out in 10 years. Oh, we don't do the death penalty. Yeah. Well, you get people swinging from ropes again when they kill somebody, they might think twice. Oh, wow, I'm not going to get to spend all my life in free room and board and cable television in prison, and they're going to hang my ass. Yeah. Or they're going to execute me. So, yeah, let's have some accountability back in the population. I mean, just think, you could have mail ordered a machine gun prior to 1968. Mail ordered. No background checks. Just gone and bought one. Letting all those mass killings in. You want to see a left-wing nut job loser shit? Go up and tell them, so that the AR-15 is over 60 years old in design. Your 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air that you restored is just as old as the AR-15 design is, and they'll lose their shit when you say that to them. You shouldn't be driving that old car because it doesn't have seatbelts, it doesn't have airbags, it doesn't have a padded dash, it doesn't have safety glass on the sides. And see what they say. Yeah, you gotta use your terminology against them. Sorry, I get off my soapbox.
Here lately, I've been freaking coughing the hell.
Man, I got some pills.
Since you gave me the Rona over the internet.
Now you make me cough. What the hell is that called? It's like a liquid cough drop pill, I guess. That the doctor, benzino something. Anyway, I can't pronounce it, but it's like cough drop pills, and they're almost look like a liquid aspirin that you would take or something like that. And dude, I took about 2 days of those, and it knocked my COVID cough out.
Yeah.
Did they let you go back to work yet?
Oh yeah. 14 days I was quarantined.
and never tested positive.
3 negative tests.
Wow. Well, you live in a blue state. That's part of the problem.
2 rapid negatives, and then the PCR that came back negative.
Well, I'm glad you don't have it because trust me, it sucked. It definitely sucked having it.
Oh yeah. I think we'll go ahead, do wrap ups, and we can always BS in the after chat. Mr. Carolina EDC, you got anything you want to plug before we get the hell up out of here?
Yeah. Appreciate the invite. Sorry I didn't say much, but yeah, just check everybody out as DM Fall says. Find everybody on those social media if you have any. Give us a follow, like, share, all that good stuff. Yeah, pretty much.
Well, thank you again for jumping on, and sorry you lost a subscriber on IG.
Why is that?
Because they banned my account.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that.
Yep, it's a lifetime ban. I'm never allowed back on IG or Facebook.
So you quit posting all the nudes in there.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Nobody wants to see a big fat guy naked.
I make good money on OnlyFans.
Man, I can't make more than
Just
$2.
about to say that.
Okay, so Artec, what do you got going on with your channel?
See, we got a video dropping tomorrow. It'll be a Phoenix Arms 22 first impression, unboxing type video, and I'll have videos up for the rest of the week for the next 3 weeks coming. So I filmed a whole bunch. I just got to upload them tomorrow, make thumbnails, and let them go.
So probably the question everybody wants to know: when the hell is the giveaway going to happen?
I'm done past the 1100, so I'm at 1200 now. So now it's the 1200 giveaway, and I need to do that.
We're all about to unsub and drop you back to like 400.
Yeah, they're all down there on my workbench. All I have to do is go down there and film it. And well, since my God and Go went up and left, I just
we
back to normal. I'm getting back to normal this week. So,
we got to give you a bunch of hell. Try keeping your mind going in the positive directions.
Right. So I'm gonna do that. I was planning on doing those tomorrow since it's Sunday, and then dropping one of those dropping that video on Monday. Let it run for the week, and then do it because we're gonna we got a 300 blackout barrel, 10. I think it's 7.5 inch pistol length. A Mission First Tactical handguard for it. That's going to be their grand prize. Then we got a full size handgun inside the waistband holster from Black Hawk. And then we got some patches and stickers to give away, and a couple key mod. One's going to have key mod rails in it. The other one's going to have M-Lock rails. Or I'm sorry, not rails, but Picatinny rails.
Cool. Well, I want to thank everybody for swinging by, and I'm going to say thanks again to Mr. DM Foss who did the intro and the outro video.